This is a show where we tell you stories about the journey of people's life, the process of life. People did not just get to wherever they are today because you see somebody in Dubai, in China, in Singapore, going on vacations with their families and all of that. Even you see young people who have excelled in life in their 20s, their 30s, who have become somebody in life. And you just think they got there. There's a process to everything that you see. Not all that you see there, that is all that there is. There is a lot that went down under the ground that you did not know.
Read books about great people. See, look at people who have been successful, who have enduring success, and see how they live their lives. It's not by cutting corners. Don't be in a hurry. The blessing of God will make rich, and it will add no sorrow.
Life will always throw challenges at you. Like it's a normal thing that without conflict, there is no harmony. Conflict is a key part of life. So challenges will come here and there. And then your expectations, like I mentioned, I thought that I would just become a lecturer immediately after my master's. So usually because that dream did not work, you'll think that maybe that's not for me, you'll just give up. But I kept believing, there's a phase in my life that has to do with this teaching, this lecturing, and I never gave up. But I went back and I did more, preparing myself for the opportunity when it comes.
Maybe a small boy you were trying to help the other day, you see him now coming back with Lamborghini. Forget about it. Life is a process. Don't jump any stage.
There's a God-given gift in you too. What are you using it to do? Search deep inside yourself. Don't say, a lot of us will say Nigeria is not a good country. No, Nigeria will get better. But with where we are, you have a contribution to make in Nigeria. What sector are you? What area of life are you? What are you doing to make that place better? It's a question you should ask yourself. Even you're in secondary school, you're in the university, what are you thinking? How are you thinking to make Nigeria better? Don't worry. Have your idea, conceive it, continue to work on it. You never can tell. When the opportunity comes, you'll be able to use it. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your favorite show, My Story. I mean, today is going to be amazing because we have one of our own, one who has made himself something out of life, coming from a background that's, you know what I'm talking about, as a Nigerian, when that background is nothing to write home about, and he has been able to walk himself through life and gotten to where he is today. Trust me, you want to watch this. You want to enjoy this story. This story is going to be one that is going to transform your life, be impactful, rebrand your mindset, set you on the right pedestal for life. And today with me on the show is our own very Mr. Ade-Raph, the owner of Raphi Great Institute. With me here is Mr. Ade-Raph. Good day, sir.
Yes, good day, my brother. How you doing?
I mean, I can't wait to hear you talk this afternoon. Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you.
And I mean, it's a privilege, it's an honor for you to grant us this time with you today.
All right, thanks for having me too.
So, not wasting so much of your time, let's get straight to today's topic.
Okay.
The name of our show is My Story, like you already know.
My Story,
and
yeah.
You have to tell us the story, journey from the beginning of your life up to this point. And very quickly, can we meet you? Like, tell us about your background, family, education, and lifestyle in general.
Oh, thank you very much. Talking about my life story is a deep one. And believe me, it's something that is actually motivating, if I can use that word. Actually, I come from a polygamous family. You understand? My dad got married to 2 wives. And we're 2 sons in the family. So, and aside from that, I am not this type of a person that actually come from a family that has, they have everything. Growing up in the village, I could remember back then when I was in primary school, I have to go to this public primary school in the village where what we use is, I'm going to be using the terms to use then, silate. You know what it is?
Yeah,
the black silage.
Yes, yes.
Then we use a chalk to write on the silage. Then the type of bag I usually carry to that primary school as a then was this bag that was made with a cement sack. You get it?
Yeah.
Cement sack with handle. Then you have yours. I have my silage in it. Then I have my duster right there with chalk. Then along the line, when a child gets to a stage that we're supposed to use counters, what we use in counting for mathematics, where you say 1 + 1 = 4. I believe at that point of time, what were you using? Stone. We have to pick stone on the street to use as counters, to use and count for mathematics back then. All around long run, that's when we start picking Fanta, the cover of this Fanta bottle. Back then, I think 7-Up was also there then.
Yes,
we will pick those things and, use them for mathematics. Now, where am I actually driving to? I could remember vividly, while I was growing up, it was very tough that I have to go and pack sound and sell. I could remember myself going out. I think I was hawking a yam. My mom will buy yam, cut it small, we'll cook it, now use garden egg to make stew. Then we'll sell it 5 naira per slice of yam. So I have to go and hawk yam. So while I was going to hawk yam that evening, then I saw a man that is building. Then I walked to him, I said, sir, if you need sand, please let me know. So sand, he said, okay, how much do you want to give me sand? I said, I can give you 1 bucket of sand for 10 naira. To me then, 10 naira was a very huge money. He said, 10 naira. I said, okay, no problem. The man actually wanted to encourage me, being a very young boy. And, he said, okay, come and help me. So on the long run, we start packing sand, selling. And then my mom, joined me there. Then we have to sell sand to make some money to be able to feed. The story was very, very deep, but I'm going to be cutting it short because of time. On the long run, the man said, okay, my son, I need stone. Can you get me stone? That's no problem. So I have to go and be picking stones on the street, selling per pail, along the line. My mom also joined me, we're doing that. So, when season for yam comes, we, we have to make yam, our hawk yam, so that we can get money to feed. Now, along the line, I could remember vividly when we had to go to the farm to go and fetch firewood. Myself, my mother, because my elder sisters were not staying with us in the village. So I think my elder sister was staying with my uncle at Ibadan. Then, I was in Ondo town, Ondo, a village in Ondo called Fagbo, to be precise, after Bola Onduro. That's where we are. Now, my sister, our firstborn, was staying at Ibadan. Our secondborn was also there. I am the last born of my mother. So, I can say that I'm the only one that grew up with my mom there in the village because, when things is actually not going well in those days, parents intend to their children have to go and stay with this person, stay with that person and all that. Now I can remember we'll go to the farm to go and fetch firewood. My mom, myself, and my mother. Yeah. Then we'll sell that firewood to somebody which I wouldn't like to disclose the identity of family. Sell the firewood to her and still use the money to buy fufu from her to eat.
My God.
You don't understand? This is somebody you stay under the same roof. Under the same roof. You understand then? Wow. Myself and my mother have to go to farm, fetch firewood. When we'll bring firewood, sell to her, still use the money to buy fufu from her to eat.
So she's making double.
You don't understand. Now, that aside, on the long run, I could remember vividly when it's time for corn, when corn comes, I was just gisting because myself and my mom is the best friend I ever had. Because I ever have, rather, because she's still alive. So we get talking all the time. We discuss, okay, Raph, what do you think is the next thing we can actually do? I've been an entrepreneur from ever since I was a little boy. Because I hawked a lot of things. I actually grew up getting to understand that if you don't work for it, it can never come to you. What it simply means is that I was trained in such a way that to understand that life does not offer everything you want until you go for it. So now, getting corn, we get like some dozens, you know. I think we get like 10 dozen or thereabouts, bring it home. We'll cook it. So when we cook, then we'll pack it inside nylon. You know, we'll remove the shell, cook it, put salt, pack it in nylon. Then, you know, I will go and hawk, you know, in Ondo language, then I can say, but too. You know, I will go and hawk the corn. Then when we buy corn, 12 for 20 naira, we end up selling 1 for 5 naira. So which means we make a lot of gain. So then I could remember when I hawk the corns, before you know what happened, I'm done selling. Then mommy, we can go back to the farm and get more. You know, we keep happy, you know. But usually so many times, things I don't love talking about, but you know, in a show like this, you know, sometimes it gets to a level where corn is not there. The maize is not there. You know, we have to switch to pomo to sell pomo. So my mom will have to go and buy dry pomo. We'll burn it. You know, after burning, we'll scrape the back. After scraping the back, we have to boil it. Then we'll cut it small, 10 naira. You understand? Then we'll go and sell. After then, if that is not going, we'll hawk bread. My mom will go to where they are getting, will go and buy bread. This age you're seeing now, a lot of things, you know, I've put a lot of things on this head to hawk. Well, we'll hawk bread, you know, from one village to another. Which one more can I remember? Do you know sack?
Yes.
Do you grow up in the village?
I know.
Oh, no. You're not opportune to have those experiences. Now, when you grow up in the village, most especially in Ondo town, in Ondo environment, where you know cocoa, kola nut, palm fruit, palm tree, banga, you know, that's the means of the livelihood in those environments.
Okay.
You know, when we have to, so many things, then this tarpaulin I'm talking about, you know, when you go to the farm, after you harvest your cocoa, when you remove the shell, you know, you have to spread it in the sun to dry. You have to sun dry it. After you pack it in the sack for like 3 days to extract the water out, you know, you have to sun dry. That particular tarpaulin that we use in sun drying it is what we now started. After we've been able to gather some money from selling stone, selling sand, selling yam, selling pomo, selling corn, selling bread. Then sometimes we also go to, you know, to go and do what they call laborer. You know, myself and my mother will go to the farm to go and help people to carry load. Because when people harvest palm fruits from their farm, you know, they need people to move it to the place where they will refine it, where they will produce it to become oil, you know, to cook ground, you know, and do all those things. Then myself and my mom will have to go to the farm, help people to carry this. That's a daily job. A day job there, they pay 200 naira. So that 200 naira a day job, so me that I'm going with my mom is just supporting striker. It's not that the particular money is going to be paid for that. You know, but as a little boy that is so glued with my mom, you know, we just have to go together. So we go and carry palm fruit for people. We're able to gather some money from there. Now it gets to a time that my mom have to also meet with people. Okay, don't worry, you can give me your palm fruit farm. You know, I will take care of it, we'll take care of the fruit, we'll harvest it. Every year, this is the number of drums of oil we're gonna give back. So we now calculated. My mom now started also, you know, renting farms. When you rent in those days, you don't rent and pay cash.
Okay.
You rent, when you harvest, you produce it, then you give them parts of the oil you've refined. It's just like Nigeria that will take crude oil outside the country and, you know, and refine and return it back. So we do something like that. So when we harvest the palm fruit, we would be the one to do the oil and all that. This says, okay, maybe I need 10 drums of oil in a year. So how you get the 10 drums of oil, it's not their business. Theirs is, I give you my farm, make sure you deliver this. So, you know, we have to venture into that.
But then, Before we move forward to the next question, what was your school like?
My school?
Yes.
Go to the education.
Secondary school.
Secondary school at the primary school at the tender age. That's at Ondo Town.
Okay.
Then from there moved to nursery and primary school, Ifeoluwapo. That was when I get on. Then from there moved to St. Ambrose's Catholic Grammar School. Wow. Then in Ondo Town. Then after then, I'm able to now fall back to Lagos from Ondo now after my secondary school level. Then I think my first studies I did was what is called technical program at Florey Technology Institute. Then having moved from the story from background, you know, things started getting changed, you know, gradually, you know, and getting to Ondo, Lagos, I went to Florey Technology Institute where I studied my first technical program, which is Mobile Communicating Device Engineering. Then that was when at the era where we're still using table phone, this Nitel, you know,
yeah.
that you have to connect to the phone.
Yeah.
Those are the things they use in training all cell phone repairs then. Then along the line we have something like a Nokia came out. We have not even 3310, we have Nokia 5110. We have those one Yoruba called Pemipado, one Romi.
Yeah, walkie-talkie.
You know that very big one. We have then along the line we have Sajem, we have Bird, we have Trion. You just mentioned Trion. Then we have the Samsung R220. We have Motorola. We have Alcatel. We have Zendo X and all that. Now you know those. We started fixing phone, learning how to repair cell phone from Florey Technology Institute, where I got to, you know, acquire knowledge, then now establish. Now, before that, before I got admission to Florey Technology Institute to do technical program, I gained admission to Ade-Raph College of Education to study English language. Then when I get to, after my first year, I dropped out because there was no money to continue.
Oh my God.
So after I couldn't get money to continue, what will I do? Then I happened to meet a friend of our firstborn, which is Mr. Isaiah. So Mr. Isaiah taking upon me, the man saw me, so this young chap, let me see what I can do. So Mr. Isaiah was the person that actually took me to Florey Technology Institute and paid for me. I could remember the first tools I ever worked with. This Mr. Isaiah got it for me. And that's at Computer Village in Lagos. Then because Florey Technology Institute was at that Computer Village, then he took me there, then I started learning mobile communicating device engineering. That's how to repair cell phone. That's when I said we're using those old school phones for repair. But the way we're prepared technically, you should be able to make research and grow yourself more.
Okay.
Then along the line, after that, I now have to get my own shop at Ade-Raph in Lagos. You know, when you're coming from Ikeja, after Dokpemu, you know, you have Ade-Raph. At that Ade-Raph street, then at that particular place, I got a kiosk, you know, one small kiosk. Then you pay for space, you use wood to arrange kiosk, you know. Then phone call was still raining. That's when you call 1 minute for 30 naira in those days. So I got a shop, I was fixing phone. Then we don't have most of the phones we have now. We don't have BlackBerry. I think the only phone we had then was Nokia, Samsung. Later we have Motorola and those ones that came there, Zendo X and all that. So then I started making money, you know, gradually repairing phone on this. Then I now go into maintenance as, you know, as a technical person. So along the line, I started making money. Then I got admission to Lagos State University. So where I now went back to study that English language, which I actually dropped out at, you know, Ade-Raph College of Education. Then, you know, that was where I studied that. Then all along run, aside from the Lagos State University, I've been able to acquire some other knowledge professionally. Because I come to find out that English language that I love to study English for one reason. Because I can remember while I was growing up, when we're going through this carrying load for people, buy and say, hawking and all that, I can remember my grammatical usage of English was very poor. That I couldn't communicate in English. Now, what it simply means is that when I'm at the midst of people where children are discussing, we are the set of people that when they say stop speaking vernacular in the class, you become deaf and dumb.
Of course.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
No, I can remember a child was speaking English and an elderly man came there. He said, okay, you always speak in Yoruba. I'm a Yoruba man. Always a Yoruba boy at that stage of time. Always speaking in Yoruba. Speak English, my friend. So she was now moving on my front. So I want to say, okay, why are you roaming all around? What's your problem? I don't know what to say. I actually kept silent for some time. I said, I dey go, I dey come, I be only of
Oh my God.
I was embarrassed. So since then, it actually sticks to my brain. So, okay, if it's English language, I will ensure I study this. So that was what actually took me there. So after that, acquired technical knowledge, started fixing cell phones and all that. I actually got admission where I now started studying English language at Lagos State University. All right.
Who are you today? How did you get here? And are you satisfied? So let's start with who are you today?
All right. Thank you very much. By the grace of God, Ade-Raph today, I can say that I am entrepreneur. You understand? I'm an entrepreneur because I've come to understand by my experience that when you put a table on ground that have one leg and you try to hold it, can the table stand?
No.
It's gonna fall.
It's going to fall.
Good. If you put a table on ground that have 4 legs, it's stable, right?
Yes.
But when you remove one, what happens?
It will fall.
It falls. That when you have a table on ground that has 6 legs, it's stable, right? When you remove one, what happens? The table is still standing.
Yes, still standing. Yeah.
You get it now?
Yeah.
And based on that philosophy, that has made me to have nothing less than 6 streams of income today. I ensure that I do nothing less than 6 different things. Because when you allow your background to put your back on the ground, you're expecting the story to repeat itself.
I'm sure that at this point you're already asking yourself a lot of questions. Where am I? Where am I coming from? Is it possible? Can I become somebody in life? You have heard Mr. Ade-Raph, and his story I know is touching and is beginning to inspire you. Trust me, you can go even far better than Mr. Ade-Raph. I know you can. And you can obviously see that this is coming from where he's coming from. The man he is today is from where he's coming from. His mother. You see him talk so much about his mother. So the entrepreneurial part of him is bettered out of the relationship that he found with his mother when they were going from, the yam to the corn to the palm oil and the rest of that. I'm sure that there has been something that has been part of you that you have and you have been working on. You can also work with that, and I'm sure that tomorrow you'll be a better person.
I will say a very big thank you to my mother, Eshiongo Modupe. There are 3 things a man should understand in life about the pain of a woman. From the pregnancy to the birth and also to the upbringing. Because the role of a mother in their children can never be overemphasized. I want to say a very big thank you to my mother for being there for me. Most especially for showing me to understand that the right path is entrepreneurship, not worshiping of certificate. To guide me through, to make me have 0 respect for certificate and have 100% for being a great entrepreneur. I want to say a very big thank you to Mom. Honestly, Eshiongo.
Mr. Ade-Raph, are you satisfied already?
That actually makes me laugh. Now let me tell you something. See, the wise man once says that past is an experience, present is an experiment, while the future is an expectation. Remember, you have to use your experience in your experiment to make your expectation come true. What it simply means is this: satisfy, I've not started. I've not started. See, let me tell you something. It pains me when I look at the street of Nigeria and I say, come across youth like me that are opportune not to go through what I went through, that are living their life based on certificates. It is not over until it is over. It is not over until I can beat my chest and say that I've been able to take out millions of Nigerians out of the street, youths like me. Are you getting what I'm saying? I am not satisfied. We're just starting.
Did you hear that?
We're just starting.
Did you hear that? He's not satisfied. Are you satisfied already? Are you comfortable with where you are? Are you saying that there is no hope? Nigerian government is not giving job. There are no opportunities. Are you thinking of jackpotting out of Nigeria? Don't jackpot to anywhere. If Mr. Ade-Raph has been able to get it right in Nigeria, trust me, there are lots of opportunities. Every time I talk to young people, I tell them this world is like a puzzle. Find the missing piece.
That's
Mr.
it.
Ade-Raph has found his missing piece. Look for yours. It is there. It is everywhere. Don't look for shortcuts. Trust me, there's a way that is right and you can always follow the right path. Okay, so furthermore, Mr. Ade-Raph, because I'm enjoying this. This has been amazing and wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on your background,
Yeah.
did you ever think at any point in time while you were growing that you can become this man that you are today? Sincerely.
Sincerely.
Yes, while you were much younger and growing, with the whole, poor background, no opportunity, no uncle to help, even before, Mr. Isaiah came into play. Did you at any point in time ever think you'd become this man?
I've always said something to myself ever since I was growing up as a child, that I can never be poor in my life. Because I have this aggressive hatred against poverty. I was there. You get it? So I always believe, because my mom actually taught me something.
Okay.
That never you in your life believe that carton that they give in the school has ability to take you out of this stage we are now. You don't understand? My mom used to call certificate carton. So she said, never dare you believe that that carton, you are going there for you to know how to read, write, and communicate.
That's somebody who didn't even go to school.
Yes, of course.
Oh my God. Wow.
You don't understand?
Wow.
That education to my mother is to read, write, and communicate. So she always made me understand that every morning she prayed for me. Every step I take, she prays for me. And she always said to me, my son, you will become a better person beyond the imagination of people that the nation will see an open mouth. And I'm not there yet. So what it simply means is that I've always believed that I will become a great person. But where I'm expecting to be, like I've not started at all.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? His mom, who is not even educated, she understands that education is meant to give you enlightenment, knowledge, and not to give you what to eat.
That's it.
There are many other opportunities that you could ride on to become a better person beyond your certificate. Have you been looking up to your certificate? Or you're a young person right now, you're still in school, you have not gotten into the higher institution, and you're thinking that you want to finish school and use your certificate to get a job. Well, our president, Mr. Buhari, has said it, that there are no federal government jobs, no local government jobs anymore. That certificate does not have value like it used to have. That was a white man's ideology. Now you have to use what you have to become a better person. What's that thing that God has put inside of you? God has put inside every human being He created something. Look deep inside of you and get that thing that God has put inside of you and make the world a better place. And just before we wrap up,
All right.
Mr. Ade-Raph, what are some of the little challenges you faced? You didn't just, there are challenges here and there that you faced, in your business, and generally. What are just a very few for people to know that it was not all rosy.
It was not all rosy. All right. Thank you very much. Talk about challenges. You know what I always tell young entrepreneurs like me, or you're willing to become an entrepreneur, or to be able to tell a story someday. No success comes without challenges. And challenges are the ladder that take you to that successful stage you want to get to. Let me start from my first official entrepreneur business. Start repairing cell phone. As at that tender age, people look at me like a young man. If we give him phone, he's going to run away with it. Before some people start developing trust. That's first, trust to be the challenge from people to you. Because what it simply means is that they don't know whom you are yet, until they see you being consistent in what you do before they start trusting you to give you business. I can remember there was a phone that came out back then when Nokia was producing those slide phones. The body of the phone was iron all through. The back cover and the keypad cover, they're both the same. They look alike. So when I disassembled the phone, lack of experience, then I just started. I disassembled the phone, I removed the back cover, I was putting it at the front.
Wow.
Then I racked the shape of the phone. I can remember when this man is coming from the door, move out from the window. It's tough and challenging. And aside from that, every bit of business I've mentioned. Sometimes ago, I was doing empowerment under Be Your Own Boss for Nigerian youth. Okay. I have a platform called Nigeria Strategic Empowerment, where I have over 356,000 Nigerians that register to be empowered. When I start this program, let me use challenges for example. I went to Benue at Makurdi. When I went to Benue at Makurdi, the moment I arrived at Benue, because I've been doing the empowerment in Abuja, empowering people, youth are happy, the news started going viral. I never go to any state to announce, but courtesy of the evidence people have from Abuja here, that on getting to Benue State, the moment I get to location for the training, the following morning, I have over 2,000 Benue youths in attendance.
Wow.
And you get what I'm saying? Yes, and that Benue Government Secondary School, Makurdi, high level, Makurdi.
Yeah, high level.
In that field, everywhere was shut down till the gate.
Oh my God.
During registration, preparing for their vocational, I moved my team from Abuja to Benue. Different people to go and do training for them. Lo and behold, I wrote to the Commissioner of Police of Benue State through the DPO at that high level, Makurdi. They gave me 2 e-logs on ground with policemen with gun. Some people came from the DSS, they said they are from the office of the Commissioner of Police, that Commissioner is inviting me. I went there. The moment I get there, the Commissioner said, what are we doing there that we want to constitute stations there? I said, no, I wrote to you through your DPO. And they even gave me police on ground. Commissioner said, okay, next time make sure you bring the letter directly. But which means, I think I've done the right thing, writing to Commissioner through the DPO that is covering that jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, police people came in, they said their DSS, came into the location, scattered the event.
God.
And forced me to return 5,000 naira that people are paying to learn handwork. Somebody that want to learn fish farming, pay 5,000. Somebody that want to learn computer repairs, pay 5,000. Somebody that, those courses I know they can use over 200, 300,000 to do, just pay 5,000. They will, a whole month, we are ready to be there and empower you and move to the next state. They scatter it. I was guided to the bank with gun to go and withdraw the training fee they've paid into the account. And they collect the money and take it to Benue State Police Headquarters. I know the face of the police that did this when I say them. And I was guided down there with gun to the bank. They make sure I withdraw the whole money they've paid. And they collect it and take it to the station and call those people. We give them evidence record of people that pay, because we are keeping track record. They now have to call them one after the other that those people are fraudsters. They come to deceive you guys. Some of them that has brain and say, okay, how do they come and deceive us? They've been training people in Abuja. We are aware. Some of them say, my brother has been beneficiary of this young man, Ade-Raph. He's training, and my brother now owns a shop. Police scatter Benue State. They scatter the program, scatter the youth, ensure that the program do not hold. Later, I was hearing rumor, which is not established, that is some politician that didn't want such to happen that scattered it. That's left to them. I was arrested. I wrote to Inspector General of Police. Signal came from Abuja. You know, being a journalist and a human rights activist, when I'm doing something, I always been channel my letter well. Now, my team from Abuja have to go to the Commissioner of Police office, where they now send signal to Benue State, writing to them that this young man we know him, is a journalist on television in Abuja, and he has been doing this empowerment. Please release him immediately. Still yet, they still collect money for bail. I was arrested, I was locked up. Till the second day, they locked up my staff alongside with me. Why? Trying to empowering Nigerians. Now tell me something. At this point, I supposed to give up, right? But I didn't give up. I moved from that Benue State to Taraba. You get it? Move from Benue State to Taraba. Getting to Benue State, that's why I said, past is an experience, present is an experiment, future is an expectation. I now have to use my experience in Benue State. Now go to the Commissioner of Police in that particular Taraba State that give me your men from your office. Wrote to them. Then I was given men from the Commissioner of Police in Taraba State office to come and secure the place. Then now I have to copy DSS, of which I copied them in Benue State, that they still did that. But because my mistake at Benue was that I took police directly from the DPO, which is the right thing, because I've wrote to the commissioner through the DPO. But now I have to boycott that jurisdiction that is covering the location in Taraba and go directly to Commissioner of Police in the state. And Commissioner of Police now give me security operative that came to that. In that Taraba, I trained over 800 and something people. Wow. Before we left. In the history of Taraba State, they can't forget such empowerment. I trained 800 and something people in Taraba in different vocational skills. Wow. Where am I driving to? There will always be challenge. Now, if you want to achieve excellence, you prepare for challenges before success. So there is nothing you want to achieve that will come without its challenges. So you always prepare to grow.
Preparation, very important. You hear him, you have to prepare at all times, because there will always be challenges. And very importantly, if you hear his story, he was determined. Are you determined? Are you saying that whatever it takes, what I'm driving towards is success? If that's what you're chasing after, trust me, whatever comes with it is just a bygone. You will pass through it. And that means that no matter what challenge you're facing, there's always a way out. And very importantly, I know this was the hand of God, you know, helping him through. And going further, lastly, with the trends in the society, okay, I'll just take this before I take the final question. Okay. Say, with the trend in the society, in your time, as a growing teenager and a youth, were there no options of shortcuts like young people are treading through, you know, now? Why did you opt for this genuine path? Why did you opt for, say, following the right channel, the struggle, the process of life, saying whatever it takes, I'll pass through the right channel? Because if you look at the society today, we have a lot of wrongs going on. You know, the young people looking for short means to becoming successful in life. Why did you not? Were there no options, or it was a determination from within to follow the right channel?
Oh, thank you very much for that great question. Talking about options, there were so many negative options. But my background couldn't allow such. My background do not make such to even cross my mind. When parents fail in their roles, the role of a parent, when parenting become failed, the result will tell on the generation. Parenting while I was growing up, when you're still on the bed by 6 a.m., you receive cold water on your head by 6 a.m. What are you doing on bed by 6 a.m.? Cold water, the water from rain. Village now, there is no NEPA light. Rain, Yoruba call it Omi Ojo. That's what they will fetch and pour it on your head. You have to wake up. Now it's no longer like that. A lot of things, then you don't spare the rod and destroy the child. If you misbehave, they beat you, they embarrass you. Now, then, sorry, I'm referring to parenting, because your question is tied to parenting. Role of mother, role of father, the parental role. In those days, there were three set of people that take care of children: the parent, the teacher, and the religion body. Now, when a child do something wrong at home, when they discipline the child and the child still do it again, the discipline, when you do it for the third time, they said, I'll report you to your teacher. You will compose yourself immediately.
You know the implications.
Yes, because when you go to school, school right the wrong in you. But now, mind you, teacher can no longer beat children. They spare the rod and spoil the generation. Now, the religion bodies, we are meant to understand why growing up that they don't dare report you to your pastor. I'm a Christian. Everybody will be very careful. Don't let them, if they should dare take your matter from the house to the church, to you, you are doomed.
I understand that part.
The religion body, what happened to the religion body today? Going down. So, why mine is like this is this. The 3 arms of training a child supposed to receive is completed. Parental, teachers in the school, and the religion body. And which is what is lacking in today. And that's why you can see children, teenagers engaging in, is it Yahoo Yahoo?
Yes, Yahoo.
Ritual killings.
I mean, you know, 17, the other day, 17, 19-year-old thinking of ritual. At 17, what were you thinking about?
No, that one didn't even shock you. I think maybe you didn't really know. Some parents will encourage their children to go into such thing. That's where the parenting, the parenting aspect of this particular society has got it wrong. Now, I can say that I didn't pray that what I've went through growing up, that for my children to go through that. But in my own house, by the grace of God, I'm a married man. You understand? And as I'm even speaking, I've hung boot. You understand?
Oh, already?
So, yeah.
So how many kids do you have?
I have 2 girls, 2 boys.
Oh, 4. That's cool.
Yeah. So where am I driving to now is this. In my own house, there is time for play. There is time for study. There is time for television. And there is time to pray. There is time to sleep. You don't utter anyone among the time. The children are aware about that.
Wow.
And personally, I will go to my children's school. Please beat my own children. You may not beat every other children, but beat them the way you can beat your child. My children, train them like your own.
Amazing.
So, I will tell you, if you don't have pankere, you know, I'm a Yoruba man to the core. You know what it's called? Pankere.
Yes, I know what
that native cane.
Yes.
If you don't have it, let me get it for you and discipline my own children.
So did you hear that? Did you hear that? Schools these days were beginning to say, don't touch, don't beat children, teachers don't flog children. We want to adopt the white man's ideology. I am not in support of it, and I'm just having somebody with like minds. We're not saying you should beat the children outrageously. We're not telling you to use aggressive weapons on the children. But there has been means at which we've been trained while we were growing, and I think those means really helped a lot of us. And this should be looked into. Trust me, if parents train children properly like they used to do in the olden days, teachers play their roles, and religious body, like you heard, play their role, I'm sure that we'll have a better future. So we don't destroy the forthcoming generation. We should look into all of this. And very importantly, and finally, Mr. Ade-Raph, what do you have to say to young children from childhood to the society, to the world at large? What do you have to say to children from childhood to teenage and to adulthood? What's your final take to them?
All right, thank you very much. For you that is watching right now or you're listening, I want you to understand this, that shortcut cuts life short. So you have to understand that you must work for everything that you will sustain. Sustainability comes from the ability that you put in place in the place of action to achieve that which you want to achieve. Nothing good comes easy. It means you have to work for it. Work for it. Believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you can achieve everything, because my policy is this: anything I can conceive, I can achieve. Because what you cannot visualize, you can never actualize. So for you to actualize, you have to conceive it. You have to visualize it. Then you work towards it. So that person you want to become, firstly, visualize it within yourself. See your place with yourself at the place you want to get to. Imagine you there and work towards it legitimately. Thank you very much.
You have heard that, viewers. This is awesome. This is wonderful. I've enjoyed myself today. I've been enriched, I've been refreshed, I've been renewed. And I know that you also have. Don't just let this be one of those videos you have watched. We have watched so many videos. You know, they talk about entrepreneurial speakers and say, you know, some of them are just motivational talkers. Okay, today we have met an entrepreneur who is not a motivational speaker. He has followed due process to have met his requirements in life and gotten to where he is coming from. On this show, we'll also have a lot of other people tell you their stories. Stay tuned, enjoy, don't just watch, don't just listen. Practice, make this one thing that you are focused in life to do. Don't just say, I beg, my story, people are telling their story. Let us also come and talk about your story on the show someday. Haven't watched my story. You know, you just say, I watched my story. One of the stories has touched me. It might not be Mr. Ade-Raph's story. There's other stories that will touch you. And while they touch you, make sure that they don't just touch you. They push you, they drive you to become a better person. And like he has told you, you cannot achieve something if you have not conceived it. Look inward. I always tell people, this world is a puzzle. I'm saying it again. There's a missing piece. Search within you. As far as you can think is as far as you can reach. So this is how far we would go on this show today. I enjoyed myself with Mr. Ade-Raph. I don't know if you did enjoy yourself, Mr. Ade-Raph. Really appreciate this opportunity. It's a privilege. We know that a lot of thousands of people out there, you know, millions and I'm sure billions of people would watch this at one point in time, because this is for posterity, and we really appreciate this opportunity.
Thank
it's
you.
a very great honor to say that younger generations can emulate and watch lives like people like you to make theirs better. So stay tuned and keep watching my story. My name is Aregbe Shegun Abraham, your host.